everyone on my Periscope, my Facebook, my Instagram, my YouTube. Welcome. We're live again on a Thursday night talking about love, love, and love. Now, to all my lovers, tonight we will be talking about, what's sacrificing for love? Would you sacrifice for love? And we needed to talk about this because most of you don't understand what that really means when it comes to relationships. So you know me as I do. I talk about what it is and why you're in it and what it takes and the results that you can do to have successful relationships, okay? So most of you, if you don't know me, I am a loveologist. I have been a loveologist now for over 10 years. I have helped men, women, single, dating, married, shacking, homosexual, heterosexual. It doesn't matter because we're talking about love. Love, love, love. How to find love, how to get love, how to keep love. And so I do this because you are seeking more than just simple generalization of a relationship. You're looking for solutions and strategies. And that's what I do. I give you solutions and strategies. Now, tonight, I wanted to talk about sacrifice. We're not going to hold you up too long. You know how I am. I don't hold you too long. 20-minute top. That's pushing it. But I'll try to make it as short as I can. So thank you for joining me. Hello, everyone over in my Facebook world. Hello, my Periscope people. Press my hearts and likes, comments. Please make sure you send me any questions you have at all time. Okay? Now, what is sacrifice? And we're talking about when it comes to relationship. What is sacrifice when it comes to that? Giving up things that are important to you. Things that sometimes are precious to you or valuable, you give those things up. Okay? That's sacrificing something you believe is desirable or valuable to you. So you'll sacrifice whatever is going on to have that. Okay? Now, there's different types of level of sacrifice. And this is why I'm talking about this, because it's very important for you to understand being in relationships, when and why, or if you should sacrifice a relationship. Okay? Now, one of them, the levels I'm going to give you now is four, but and we're going to go into the details of the four I'm going to talk about tonight. There's a level of friendships. There's a level of family. There's a level of your business or your job, and then there's a level of a relationship, or which is you're going into a marriage. And then there's a level of being single. Okay? So those are the levels that we're talking about. When do you sacrifice? When you're in those type of levels. Because you have to understand there's different levels of sacrifice. Okay? So let's first talk about the main one we think about when we are married and we sacrifice. When you're married, you're sacrificing the family and friends. Because the reason is that you chose to get married to this particular woman, right? To make her the more dominant importance of everyone else. And in God's eye, you're supposed to make the wife or your husband one. Number one. So anything else that is going on and around you above your higher power, then comes your wife. Okay? Then comes your children. Then your family, then your friends. Got it? Those are the levels when it comes to being having a mate in a marriage relationship. Okay? Now let's talk about the level of your family. You're single, right? If you're a single individual, the levels of sacrifice that comes after your parents. Single, then parents. Then, now if you have children, then it's children. So then it's you single with children, then parents. But if you're no children, then it's you, then parent. Got it? Then it's your siblings. Then it's your friends. So you understand what I'm talking about now when we're talking about the level of sacrificing? Because you have to and I'm explaining this to you because you understand where I'm going with this. When you understand your place as a single person, as a married person, as being in a relationship or with your family, you have to understand where they come, and this is when sacrifice comes in. Got it? Okay. Now, so now let's talk about when it comes to your business or your job. The things that you do in your business or your job has a lot to do with what you are creating. Creating for who? Yourself and who? Your family, right? So when you have a business and you are the owner of or you're running your business, if you're trying to survive for the family, your business, yes, could be a sacrifice for the family. But how do you put that in levels, right? When you are running a business or a job, they never come above your family. And here's why. And some of you are going to say, what do you mean? What do you mean? Because you can always replace a job and you can always create another business, but you can never replace your family. Got it? So when we're talking about relationships, you have to understand where you sacrifice and when and how you sacrifice. So you got to know your levels to understand why if you want to have a wonderful, successful, sustaining relationship, you have to know when and how to sacrifice. Got it? Now, you understand we understand we talked about the marriage, we talked about the family, we talked about the business. Now let's talk about friendship. There's a level of friendships, and there's types of friends. You have your associate, you have your dear friend, your best friend, your good friend. Actually, we say these things when we're talking to somebody. That's my good friend. Well, that ain't your best friend. And then you say, oh, that's my dear friend. But she still ain't your best friend. And then you'll say, that's my associate. She damn sure ain't your best friend, right? So there's a level of friendship. Now, we're going to talk about now where you're sacrificing that. Your best friend can be sometimes you will make a sacrifice to do and be there for a best friend. Got it? You may think about being there and sacrificing for a good friend, but not necessarily a dear friend and not necessarily and definitely not associate. Got it? So those are the levels of friendship. And those are the things I've given you now. We talked about the levels of friendship, family, business, and marriage. Now, what happens when you sacrifice? So you understand what happens when you sacrifice and focus on just your personal interest. Okay? If you sacrifice and only focus on your personal interest, then you sometimes come off as being what? Selfish. That's just reality. If you only focusing on self at all times and sacrifice and not dealing with anyone or anything or in a situation, you could possibly be dealing with in a state of selfishness, correct? But if you have a lack of understanding that, then you have a hard time sustaining wonderful and great relationship because your focus is so much on self. Got you? That's being selfish. Now, in these types of relationships, so let's talk about the type of relationships when you're making a sacrifice and why, if you should or shouldn't. Okay? Now, let's go back to the types of relationship. We say marriage. When you're married, when you choose to make a decision to have a mate, you have decided to possibly sacrifice some things, which is what? Your friends, spending time with friends, going places with other friends. You sacrifice to give more time to your children, or you may sacrifice, to spend more time with your job. So a lot of things you end up sacrificing when you become a husband or a wife. Okay? You're sacrificing to be happy and you should sacrifice for your happiness. And at all times, anytime you make a decision for self, it's all about just being happy for yourself. As you know, I was talking to someone about that earlier, about how would you sacrifice for love, for somebody that you want to be with, someone that makes you happy? Why not? Why would you not choose a person that makes you happy and fulfill your needs and your happiness? That's what you want. So sacrifice for what you want for yourself, not for what someone else wants you to have, for what you want for yourself. Got it? Now, let's talk about the business side. When you're sacrificing your business, you have to decide what position that they're in. The business is to help your family, to help yourself, and to help your next generation, right? So when you make sacrifices to have lack of time because of your business or your job, you're doing that for what? To help your family have and to do the things that you hope that they will do. Got it? And so you have to make that decision when does it make sense to sacrifice based on what's going on within your family at that time. Okay? Now, family. Now, family will make you sacrifice some shit because they come up with some shit and they'll block some shit. And I say this because family is the one that's most of the time going to get in your way. And usually we try to sacrifice for our family, but our family can cause some drama. Our family can be hell. It's just simple as that. Do you sacrifice for them? You sacrifice for your family when it has anything to do that has nothing to do with harming you or taking from you. That's when you make a decision to sacrifice for something that's going on within your family. Meaning, do you leave your job to run and help a family that is in need, that is just stopped on the road and had a flat tire or had an accident? Those are the type of sacrifice we should stop in an instant moment to go see what is happening with our family. But when it has something to do with the welfare of your new family, which is your mate, and we're talking about husband or wife, then that you have to consider what is happening at that time for you to make a sacrifice. Okay? Got it? Now, so let's talk about friendship, because that is the number one issue. And that's why I made it last. Okay. So friends and relationships are considered types of love. And what that means is we have friends on the basis, because whoever you're dating or whoever you're getting to know or whoever you are friends with are on the basis of several things. It could be affectionate love. It could be self-love for yourself. It could be playful love. It could be endearing love. It could be obsession. It could be romantic love. It could be unconditional love. I can go on and on and on. So the point of I'm saying to you, when it comes to friend love and being a single person, meeting someone, wanting to get to know someone, dating someone, involved with someone, shacking with someone, you are still in the middle of the what I say, a major decision. Because the major decision is on the base, do you sacrifice for a friend? Do you sacrifice for a friend that you're dating or getting to know who has nothing doesn't know nothing about you? Got it? They know nothing about you because they weren't raised with you. They didn't grow up with you. They weren't around you, all your life. They came into your life at a time where you met and got to know each other, be it in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. This could be someone that you just met for a moment. Do we understand the type of love of sacrifice? When you're single, you're dealing in a category of self. You have to understand that. Even if you meet someone that you truly love and care for, you're still dealing in the level of self. Meaning, Everything you do and decide is about self and your family, because you hadn't gotten to that level of making that person your wife or your husband. And you may not never become their husband or their wife. Do you understand? And that's why you have to decide, would you sacrifice a family or a friend for someone who doesn't know you? You understand? And that's what, sacrificing is about. You have to understand what you're making a decision to do for someone else. Now, some of y'all sacrifice your sisters, your brothers, your friend for a person you just met last week. Don't even know that person, but they tell you they love you. They want to, spend a lot of time with you. You know nothing about that person. You don't know if they're a serial killer, abuser, crazy, psychotic. But I'll call you on the phone, sis, I done had a flat tire. Girl, I'm with my new man. Really? Really? And people do this every day. And they do this because they think they'll never meet someone that will love them or give them the love that they desire. And they will sacrifice their family for a person they do not know. And this is why I'm talking about it, because you all have got to understand and learn that until you love yourself more than anyone else outside of your higher power, which is my higher power is God, you cannot sacrifice your time for a person you don't know. You don't know if that person is going to make you their husband or wife. You don't know if that person's going to be in your life a month from now. You don't know if that person has an agenda to take you out, to harm you, to do something to you. You cannot put yourself above and let that person be above you, because everything is a level of sacrifice. And you don't let someone come outside of your household, outside of your family, and sacrifice your family who doesn't know you. And some of you all do that all the time. And this is why y'all keep finding bad relationships. This is why you all meet people that use you. This is why you all meet people that put you in situations that you should not be in. This is why you are lonely and feel alone, because you're dealing with people who don't care about you or appreciate you. That's why you have to understand the sacrifice of love. Now, if you missed this and you just came in, rewind, go back, because you need to understand the level of relationships, be it with your friend, marriage, family, or business/job. Go back over that again. Once you understand that self is always first, but in situations based on where you are, then that's where you lie and you make a decision to sacrifice. Now, I can't tell you what to sacrifice. I can't tell you what you should or should not do, or who you should and should not sacrifice. But what I will tell you that is, if you sacrifice for the people that sacrifice for you and love you the way you are loving and caring for you and taking care of you, then you'll understand when to sacrifice for somebody. Period. If you don't understand, again, rewind, go back to what I said, and get the levels of who you sacrifice for and understanding the difference. Because no relationship is going to always be sunshine. It's not reality. But two people can share one little umbrella and survive any storm that goes on that causes them to sacrifice. Okay? That's it. I hope you guys got it. I thank you for joining me tonight. I told you I was going to bring something to you tonight, that those who need help, those who want to talk, those who got things going on in their lives, things that are bothering them, they're looking for ways to find love, how to get love, how to keep any mate that they're involved with. If you go to my bio, you will see that I offer now phone consultation. I offer a video consultation, and you can talk now with the Love Doctor and get the help that you need and get through whatever you're going through. See? I did that in 20 minutes less, didn't I? Yay! I'm so glad glad you guys joined me to listen to my talk about when and if you would sacrifice for love and relationship. Thank you for joining me. And remember, if you're not in a relationship, only true love is delay. You don't have to rush. Just be patient. And the mate that is going to come into your life is already seeking you. You don't have to go and search for the mate. They're already there, loving you the way you should be loved. Guys, have a great evening. Thank you for joining me tonight.